Hello, welcome back. This is Grillenheimer. Let's do a little something different in addition to the channel here, where, and it's going to take some remembering this, where at the start of a video, I might actually mention the last song I just listened to, just so you have an idea of what I listened to, if that matters to you, which was Silence is Broken by Damn Yankees, which is the Damn Yankees only did 2 CDs or 2 albums, and there's not a bad song on any of those albums. They're all great. Like them or hate them, the music is good. So there's that. But this is actually, I haven't done a movie review in a while, and this is going to be sort of an illegitimate review, so to speak, because I'm not scripted. I'm not have a good form of reviewing movies like like everyone else does, like maybe I should. But I just kind of watched very piecemeal, 20 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 20 may have missed a part of the new D&D movie, Dungeons and Dragons Den of Thieves, I think is what it's called. And I was really surprised. It's a really good movie. Chris Pine plays the lead. And that's one thing, is I can't remember all the names of the characters, much less the actors. But Simon is as the magician or sorcerer was really cool. The 80s characters make a cameo. So I may have to look at the all cast to see who was actually playing them. Unfortunately, Hank was not very white, but other than that, because he's supposed to be the older brother to Bobby, and they didn't look like they were brothers at all. But it was still neat seeing that cameo, and it was more than a cameo than I was expecting, that everyone was telling me about. So if you haven't seen this movie and you're like, oh gosh, it's woke, it's Hasbro, they're woke, give it a chance. Yeah, it's got a diverse cast, but it doesn't help the movie, it doesn't hurt the movie. They're just characters. And just as playing D&D, it doesn't matter who you are. When you play D&D, you're pretending to be something else, or I hope you're trying to pretend to be an elf or a whatever. And for whatever reason, now they've decided to throw out mixed races for whatever, which was a really neat a way of mixing abilities and adding abilities to your character on pen and paper. Who's stopping you from playing that way? No one. No one is stopping you from playing that way. That aside, let's talk about the movie just a little bit. Like, unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it in one sitting, and I did miss a few parts of it which seemed kind of boring or slow. But if I watched it from beginning to end, I probably would have a completely different aspect on that. But it was a good movie, a little long. I like how they opened it. I like how they ended it in that prison area. And forgive me, I don't know a lot of these names. I'm familiar with D&D. I tried being a dungeon master with my kids when they were littler. I try to get them interested. I don't know much about it. I haven't read a lot of Forgotten Worlds. I'm familiar with the 80s cartoon show. Some friends that I knew were in D&D tried to get me into it, and I never could get away and actually play. When I did, it was very far in between, etc., etc. So, and Dragonlance, is Dragonlance still D&D? Hickman Weiss, Salvatore, Drow, all that. I think that is. Again, I've read some of those books. Let's just talk about the movie. I'm sorry. It was really good. It was done really well. A lot of the CGI was very impressive. It looked real, and I think they were really trying to incorporate some use of non-CGI to make things look real. Apparently, the big fat red dragon is an actual character or something to that effect. There's a lot of neat tributes to different types of monsters. The owl bear shows up in a way, and apparently, technically, that shouldn't really have happened or whatever. But all that aside, all these little maybe technicalities that maybe shouldn't have actually really happened. There's a lot of neat references to all sorts of stuff. Games, PC games from the years, Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter. It's all in the movie. And from what I was reading some of the trivia, that even the creator of D&D enjoyed the movie and really liked it. I need to see it again in its entirety in one sitting with my family. If I can attach seatbelts on the couch so they won't get up and just leave, or get into their phone and watch something else. It would be good to do, because I think they would like it too if they would just sit and watch it. Trying to get my family to sit down and watch anything straight through. Anyway, but the effects were good. The story seemed pretty well done. You will end up liking all the different characters through the end, from Helga to Simon to everybody. I cannot remember Chris Pine's character. He talked a lot. He was kind of the leader. He always had the plans. They were making fun of the plans. There was a lot of good humor that was going on, and things, some events and action that could only be done in D&D, and it was just hilarious. There were some really good parts to the movie in general. It had a pretty satisfying ending, and it was a very fitting ending. It could have been a little bigger, so to speak, but I think they did a great job. And seeing all the different monsters and creatures that showed up in the movie was a nice treat, as well as referencing all sorts of different parts of D&D that us as fans, or even hardcore fans, you're really going to like, I hope. So don't let the diversity fool you. It's a good movie, and you will end up really on all these different characters, all the cast really help pull you into this world of D&D and Dungeons and Dragons. And it's its own thing. It's its own world. It's its own their own visualization of kind of what could be, and how the world might look like. It's very picturesque, full of action, some funny one-liners. There's just some good stuff overall. I wish I could be a little more specific. Again, I saw it in kind of parts. I think there was a part that I kind of missed because I was doing dishes or doing something, because I'm trying not to get into my personal life too much here. But anyway, that's the only way I can watch a movie, is in 15-20 minute spurts. So there's that. I hate to say that, but I got to finally see it. And I've had two friends of mine, my cousin and an old student friend of mine from years ago, who's grown up and has kids. He is a big D&D person. He was a dungeon master. He has all the stuff. He loves the originals, and has all the books and everything. If you haven't seen the movie, watch the movie. It's really good. And make your own opinion thereof. If I had to grade it from 1 to 10, I'd probably give it about an 8.5. It has some language in it, but in some the earlier parts were almost too exposition heavy. A lot to follow, but I'm sure it's where it is set up to have multiple viewings, because there's so much to take in, and there's so much that you can really enjoy and see. The more you see it, the more you're going to notice things and small details, and pick up on all sorts of stuff in the background, and items, accessories. what they do is with some things, neat things that happen during fights, that I was trying to take notice when I could put all my focus on watching the movie. So yeah, 8.5, really good, fun Dungeons and Dragons movie. I was really concerned about it because Hasbro does seem to be watering down D&D, really making it more mainstream than it ever has been, which is kind of concerning. Just like they did with the Wizard cards in 2021, etc. Some of their decisions are, like, what are they doing? It's because as collectors and of all this, we like seeing our investments going up, not coming down. Of course, I don't invest in this stuff. I don't collect Magic anymore, or I still don't even know how to play Magic, etc., etc. But a lot of neat things. But yeah, if you haven't seen D&D, Den of Thieves, you need to watch the movie. It's really good. It's really fun. I'm not being a shill. This is just my own opinion. I have no water in this whatsoever. Check it out. Right now it's on Paramount Plus. We did a free week. I need to stop it. I should have stopped it yesterday, so we may have just paid for a month. So there's that. We'll see you next time. As always, have a great day. Don't have just a great day, have a blessed day. And as always, peace.